Hello and welcome once again to the Owatonna Today Show. I am your host, Betty Johnson. Today is Friday, October 5th, and today our guest, it is an election year from the 2nd and the 4th Ward, will be speaking with the various candidates. But first of all, we do want to thank our fine supporters that make the show possible, and we want to welcome back Steele County Environmental Services as a supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. Our premier supporters include the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Mayo Clinic Health System Owatonna, Owatonna Public Utilities, along with the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, United Way of Steele County Environmental Services. Our primary supporters, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Little Theater of Owatonna, and the Owatonna Care Center. And our interlude sponsors include Abraham Consulting Technologies, A+ Vac, Brednar Mortgage, Glenn Megger and Tim Thomas of the Brick Megger Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House and Clare Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branson and Company, CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate. Also, our interlude supporters include Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher & Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubators, Pizza Ranch of Owatonna, Perfinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. And we are always looking for more supporters of the show, and if you're a business and would like more information about becoming an underwriter of this program, please contact Leanne at 390-5751. So we want to help keep Owatonna Today on the air. You can mail contributions to Owatonna Today at 1130 North Elm Avenue in Owatonna. We're going to take a break to hear from some of these fine supporters, and when we come back, we'll be talking with some candidates. So please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Today's fire safety message is on cooking safety, and what we'd like to touch base on is never leave your cooking unattended. Always attend to your cooking. Pot handles turned in. If something would happen to catch fire on the stove, have a lid handy that you could slide over and cover the pot. Reduce the heat, turn it off, and slide the pot back. Making sure you keep pot holders and that type of stuff off the cooking surfaces. And always maintain a clean cooking area, free of grease, and clean your ovens regularly. That is today's fire safety message from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, we're Mark and Becky Stevens of the Owatonna Pizza Ranch.
And we support the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Sandy Hardy-Hagan, and I play Jerry Neal.
And I'm Vedette Ostermeyer, and I play Bernadette in LTO's current production of The Dixie Swim Club, directed by Larry Ostermeyer.
Performances of the Dixie Swim Club will be held Friday and Saturday, October 5th and 6th at 7:30 p.m., with the matinee on Sunday, October 7th at 2 p.m.
And again the following Thursday through Saturday, October 11th, 12th, and 13th at 7:30 p.m.
Tickets are available at the LTO box office by calling 451-0764.
Don't miss LTO's production of The Dixie Swim Club.
We are back, and our guest is Greg Schultz, who is running in the 2nd Ward. Also running is Joe Petersen. Now, Joe is unable to be with us today because he is in Maine attending his son's wedding. But we do have a list of his answers, and I'll do the best I can to read them and try to convey Joe's point of view. So first of all, Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself for those of people who may not be familiar with you.
Sure, Betty. My name is Greg Schultz. I was born and raised in Owatonna. I graduated from Owatonna High School in 1975. I then went to Mankato State University, and I have bachelor's degrees in finance and in marketing. I then came back to Owatonna and worked for Owatonna Savings and Loan for Asa Carpenter at Owatonna Savings. I was in the banking business for 10 years, and then in 1988 I took over the family business of real estate, land development, and construction. I've been doing that ever since. In 2009, I had an opportunity with my son to purchase Costa's Candies and Restaurant, and that's been a really good adventure for us and for my son.
Okay.
I'm married to Shirley, been married 32 years. I have 3 children, Grant, Charlie, and Erica. Grant works at Costa's, Charlie works for Fastenal, And my daughter Erica is working on her PhD in organic chemistry at Berkeley.
Oh my goodness, busy. So, and Joe Petersen was born and raised in Owatonna and graduated from Owatonna High School and has lived here for over 50 years. And while raising 4 children in Owatonna, he's volunteered as a wrestling, soccer, and t-ball coach, and currently volunteers once a week at the Steele County Detention Center, where he does a drug and alcohol education class with inmates, and he also is involved with the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition. He has a bachelor's degree in chemical dependency and addiction counseling and is licensed by the State of Minnesota Board of Behavioral Health and Therapy as a drug and alcohol counselor, and by the Minnesota Emergency Medical Services Regulatory Board as a first responder. And he's also licensed by the state of Minnesota as a second class B low-pressure steam engineer. Okay, we'll move on to the second question, Greg, and I want to ask you that, with all your life experiences, what is it you feel, what qualities do you feel that you can bring to the council?
Well, I think I'm uniquely qualified, having been in the business community for over 35 years now. I've been in the good times and the bad times of Owatonna and seen all that, and I think I've been successful in business and in other community events I've been involved in, and that gives me, I think, a unique perspective to bring to the council, just my background in the business area. And for those who don't know, I was appointed to John Moen's seat when he resigned last year. And when I went through the interview process, I was selected because of my commitment to Owatonna. And I think that's probably my biggest quality is I've invested in property and jobs and people, and continue to bring that to the community and want to see that grow.
Okay, and Joe is a small business owner of ACU Access of his alcohol chemical use assessments, and he does drug and alcohol and uses assessments as well as a variety of education programs. And through his business, he has contacts with members of the business community, the legal profession, along with probation and parole officers. And when he makes a diagnosis and recommendations for a client involved in the legal system, he feels it becomes a part of that person's legal requirements and obligations. He takes this aspect of his job very seriously, and he believes he has a duty to the client and society to get it right. He doesn't want to give someone a label they do not deserve. So he'd like to say to keep in mind how his decisions may affect the entire future of a person's life. And because of that responsibility, he believes it's very important to make good decisions in all life's experiences. And that is from Joe Petersen. Once again, we want to mention, in case somebody is joining us, our candidates for the second ward are Greg Schultz and Joe Petersen. Now, Greg, what challenges do you feel are currently facing the City Council of Owatonna?
Well, first and foremost is always the budget. That's always on the top of everybody's agenda. We're in a time we don't have a lot of money, so we have to do the best we can with the resources we have. And do that by a number of ways. Each department has been going through the lean process and trying to get as economical as they can be in operating their departments. That's done a lot. Another thing, we have to see that Highway 14 is complete, because I feel it's very important we set a level business playing field in our community. Jobs is what is going to make our community grow and add to the budget here. I think it's really important that the council is a policy maker. It's not to take care of the day-to-day items. We have staff to do that. And a big part of what I think is important for the City Council and I want to bring to the table is to develop a long-range plan. I think we really need that. With the floods we've had in the last couple of years, 2007, 2010, the council's really got focused on taking care of day-to-day things. And no fault of theirs, but responding to things that had to be taken care of right away. We need to get out of that mode and get to a long-range planning and get a vision of where we want to go. So the city and the council's job is to lead the city in that direction.
Okay, and Joe believes that, he says he's running for city council because he believes all changes begin from within. And he thinks there are a number of honest, law-abiding citizens who have received parking tickets or been charged with misdemeanor, who would agree that some of the changes in city ordinances are not in the city's citizens' best interest. Actually, you can change without improving, but you cannot improve without changing, he believes. And he wants to become a voice of reason and common sense in government. And his plan does need, he says, your vote. So now, Greg, I want to ask you one more question real quick. What solutions, that's a tough word, solutions, do you bring to the city council?
Well, I bring a vast experience, I think, in my business world of meeting budgets, meeting payrolls, that sort of thing. I think that's a good quality. I definitely bring a commitment to the community. My future is based on how Owatonna does, how for my family and the future to come. And I really think that's an important, it puts you in a good mindset to see that the community goes in the area you want to go to.
Okay, and Joe says, as a city council member, he would promote goals that support a strong infrastructure of roads, water, sewer, and electrical services, along with police and fire protection as his primary needs for the city. He also believes in a competitive low-cost or no-cost playing field for meeting any of the desires or wants the cities or citizens may have. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds, Greg. So why don't you look in that camera and tell people why you think they should vote for you.
Well, I think you should vote for me because of my commitment to Owatonna and the citizens here. I love Owatonna. I bleed Owatonna, and I've appreciated the faith the council has put in me by appointing me, and I worked hard the last year to learn the ins and outs of the cities, and now I'm at a point that I can bring a lot of that to the table and have some impact on the future of the city.
And, okay, we have, Joe believes that when dealing with budget issues, he definitely has a conservative point of view when it comes to spending taxpayers' monies. And he believes the secret of financial success is to earn interest on your money and not pay interest on your money. And he has heard that the idea that it's okay to be spending government money or OPM, other people's money, it's not government's money, it's the citizens and the taxpayers' money. And as a city council member, he believes it's very important to spend the money wisely. So that is from Joe Petersen, who is running for the Second Ward City Council, and Greg Schultz. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
And we're going to take this break, and we're going to come back, and we'll be speaking with those who are running for City Council from the 4th Ward.
Hi, this is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance, and we are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna invites you to the 10th Annual Women's Health Day. Celebrate the woman within. Saturday, October 13th from 7:45 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Holiday Inn and Suites. Listen to Dr. Matthew Camp, plastic surgeon, on the Total You. Learn from Ashley Noble about healthy diets throughout a woman's life. Wrap up with Renee Rongen, motivational speaker, and learn about the fundamentals of a female. Tickets are $5 each and will be on sale starting September 10th at the clinic on 26th Street. Thank you.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson, and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back now, and our guests are Kevin Raney, along with Marlene Nelson and Shannon who are running Boerner. Yeah. That rhymes with my maiden name. I should remember that. Who are running for City Council in the 4th Ward. And first of all, we want to start with Marlene and want to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, Marlene.
I am 68 years old, and I guess I can't qualify as a true Owatonnan because I've only been here 50 years. I wasn't born here. And I've heard people say if you weren't born here, you're not truly an Owatonnan, but I feel like part of this community, and I really care what happens in this community. And I have 6 stepchildren, and I have 5 stepchildren, 6 grandchildren.
Better get that right.
Yes. And I'll be married 37 years on October 24th.
Well, congratulations.
And thank you. And to me, what happens in local government is so important.
That's all we need.
Okay.
That's all we need. Go to
All right,
Shannon.
okay, so yes, we want to stick as close as we can. We have a little bit of time here. So, Shannon, a little bit about yourself.
Well, 32 years, born and raised right here, so true Owatonnan, if you will, at this point. Born at the local hospital, which now seems to be turned into a Fairway Foods. Looking at what's going on there. 12 years ago yesterday, married my wife had three wonderful boys. All 3 involved in separate city issues, separate city entities, one in special ed and therapeutic recreation, one involved in the park and rec and the parks, and one involved in the arts programs.
So you are very busy. And Kevin, about you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in Owatonna since 1981. Married to my wife Monica for 26 years. My son Jake graduated this spring from Cole College. He's a media consultant with Yellow Book. And my daughter Michaela is a freshman at Winona State this year.
Okay, so you're an empty nester, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So as long as we're with you, we'll pick up with you too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you think your life experiences and what qualities you feel they brought you that you could bring to the council?
You know, I've been active in the community since I moved here. I have been on the Owatonna Park Board for the last 10 years, having been voted as president the last 8. In that time, we have worked on a annual budget of over $3.5 million. Obviously, being on the Park Board, I've worked with many of the departments, planning, worked close now with Greg Kruschke in regards to sidewalk and the trail system. It just very active in that area. Outside of the park board, I've been with the Knights of Columbus for many years, having served as its Grand Knight in 1991.
Okay. And Shannon, what about you? What do you think your life experiences and qualities you feel you can bring to the council?
Well, given my law enforcement experience over the last 10 years, starting right here in the city of Owatonna, I put my name in this hat, given where things were at, just to give people a different choice. I think I'll bring a new, different, younger perspective, perhaps, just given my age personally. Like I said, I spent a lot of time out in the area, being involved with the 3 children. My wife works locally here. She's done that for 11 years with the Jostens Company. But I have a lot. I think I do have some insight on what the city may need, and I want to see where the city's at and see what I can do to help.
Okay, and Marlene, I'm going to ask you the same question. With your life experiences, what qualities do you feel you'll be able to bring to the council?
Well, I think one of my greatest strengths is common sense. I believe you have to live within your means, and I even know how to live below my means, which a lot of people can't master that. And I really think, after hearing Kevin say that Park and Rec has a $3.5 million budget, that's one area where I think we could really be reducing, because I think all the things in Park and Rec are lovely, but they all require maintenance and staff to operate.
But do you feel you have any more qualities that you want to talk about?
I'm a digger. I go to the council meetings, and I'm not paid, but I care enough to be there, and I follow current events, and I try sometimes to pull away from it, but I just can't. To me, what happens at our local level should be something we have a say in. We can't do much to influence federal and state, but we surely should be able to do something about local.
Okay, Shannon, I'm going to come to you now. What challenges do you think are currently facing the city of Owatonna?
Well, I'm going to have to agree with Greg in the last segment. At the top of anybody's agenda is always the budget. and trying to figure out where that money's going to come from, trying to make it less of an impact, trying to pull it from the people. And when you do pull it from the people, you have to know where it's being used. And to me, I'm running for this ward so I can be approachable by people, because I think that I do believe wholeheartedly they need to know where their money is going, and I want to be that approachable person to say, this is what we're doing.
And what about you, Marlene? Do you see other challenges in addition to that?
I think budget is a huge, huge challenge, and I think we can't keep raising the levy on people because a lot of people are stuck in stagnant wages. They're working less hours, yet their bills go on and the costs are rising. And I look at things in a real broad fashion. I think that the price of groceries is only going to soar after this year of drought across the nation, and people are getting squeezed harder and harder, and I don't want to squeeze them unnecessarily. And I'd have to agree with the previous segment with Joe Petersen that I really want to keep interest earned, not spent.
Okay. And what about you, Kevin? What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city?
Obviously budget, especially when you look back to 2010. Our LGA was figured at $5 million. Halfway through the year, the state government came in and cut our LGA in half. In 2011, it was the same. Started out at $5 million, got dropped to $2.5 million. That forced the city into changing the way that they do business. Clearly, it shows that we can no longer absolutely count on that LGA. We need to focus on how we can save our money. We can't, once again, go to all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the money's not going to be there. It's so important that we keep our budget in line.
Okay, and Marlene, I'm going to ask you, what solutions do you bring
Well,
to the council?
I think the city is starting down this path, which makes me really glad. They're beginning to start to lean up the departments, figure out ways to do things in a more efficient manner. I guess my greatest bugaboo, though, is I want to give out core services. That's what I feel people pay their taxes for. And by the way, it's not affecting me how high the taxes go. I'm married to a 100% service-connected disabled veteran. So I'm one of a handful of people here in town that doesn't pay property tax. And this was a benefit to thank our vets for their service. My husband is in final kidney failure, and that's the way the state said thank you to them.
All right. And Shannon, what solutions do you have in mind for the council?
I would have to go along the lines of what Marlene had just said. I do believe our taxes are brought in for a reason. I think that those reasons should be the core services, the police, the fire. While I do appreciate the amount of money we put into our parks, and they are beautiful parks, you wonder where you can be trimmed a little bit. So I plan to come to the council and take in the ideas from the citizens in my ward and listen to them and bring that to the table.
And Kevin, what are your solutions for the council?
Yeah, the LEAN program has been a good program. It has brought fresh eyes into how we run business. That being said, it's important that we carry that through all the departments. I think a big thing is, as employees choose to leave the City of Owatonna, retirement, or go into the private sector, we need to really evaluate, do we need to replace this position, or can we go without? Even if we go without for 6 months, that's a cost savings to our taxpayers. And once again, go back, are we duplicating services within our departments?
Well, it's a big job, that's for sure, to be part of the City Council. Now, we have a couple minutes left. We're going to do the same with you. I'll start with you, Shannon.
Yes.
Look into that camera, and you have 30 seconds to say why you feel the people of Owatonna should vote for you.
I feel the Owatonna people should vote for me because I'm going to bring, I do believe I'm going to listen to you as citizens, bring those concerns and that information to the council, be your voice on the council, and bring that information back to you so you know where that money is going and what it's being used for. Like I said, being 32 years, born and raised, 3 kids involved in different aspects of the city, I spend a lot of time out there. I'll be approachable, and we'll do our best. We'll do it together.
Okay, Marlene, I'm going to come to you next. Why should the people vote for you?
Well, I believe that I'm a real fiscal hawk, and I think in these times maybe my message is going to ring true with people because people are hurting. And I believe you have to preface every decision by how is this going to affect the taxpayer? And if we have I think we have to decide, is this good for the taxpayer and can we afford it? And if the answer to either of those questions is no, then I think we bypass it. We don't do it right now because we can't afford it, and I'd like to get our debt paid down. And I think that we should listen to the taxpayer. They have some brilliant ideas. I don't have all the answers. They do.
All right. Thank you, Marlene. And now, Kevin, why should they vote for you?
I've been actively involved in Owatonna government for the last 10 years. I firmly believe that we need to make sure that our core services are not cut. We need to make sure those budgets stay strong so that we have fire and police. The safety issues need to be addressed in this community. We need to keep with that. And if that's at the expense of other departments, things being put on the back burner, so be it.
Thank you. All well said. Kevin Raney, Shannon Boerner, and Marlene Nelson, candidates for the 4th Ward, have been our guests today on this Friday show. We're going to take this one last break, and then we'll be back with some announcements.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House in Clarebridge, and we're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
In 2011, United Way funded programs provided services to over 10,000 Owatonna residents. For the second consecutive year, the vast majority needed help to meet their most basic needs: food, clothing, housing, and safety. United Way of Steele County is able to sustain a safety net of direct services, prepare our children for the future, and provide seniors with support to age in place due to the generosity of our community. Please make a donation to United Way again this year. Our neighbors are counting on us, and we are counting on you.
We are back, and we do want to remind you that coming up on Thursday will be the annual Harvest Fest, beginning on the 4th through the 6th. The Hometown Harvest Fest features 3 days of great shopping values and many fun activities, with the kickoff being on the 4th. Also, the Historical Society will be having their 2012 Cemetery Walk on Saturday, October 6th from 1 to 4 at the Forest Hill Cemetery. And you can purchase your $5 tickets for the Cemetery Walk that day. And the Steele County Historical Society on Thursday, October 4th, is going to be having History Detectives Club at 6:30. Their speaker is going to be Gordon Fredrickson, speaking about a farm country Halloween, and then open to the public at 7. In the Wenger Room, there will be a performance based on the story of a farm country picnic that is coming up on Thursday, again at the History Center. And that is going to be, we have lots of things going on in Owatonna. We do thank you for joining us today and this week. So we'll be back on Monday. Hope you have a good weekend. For the Owatonna Today Show, I'm Betty Johnson.